Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining the webinar today. Really excited about this joint webinar with Kenect and CASEpeer. We're going to get started here in just about a minute or two. We have some people coming in. Want to make sure they have a chance to get in and get settled. So again, thanks for joining, and we'll get started here in just a little bit. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining the webinar today. We're really excited about this joint webinar with Kenect and CASEpeer. My name is Jake Drzajic. I am a partner manager at Kenect. Also on the line from CASEpeer, we have Gabriela Cubero, co-founder and CEO. How are you doing today, Gabby?
I'm doing great, Jake. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So excited for this webinar. We do these somewhat often, so excited to have another webinar here to focus on the integration between CASEpeer and Kenect. Couple items of logistics here, couple items of housekeeping. You are in the webinar right now in listen-only mode, so Gabby and I are not able to hear you. But if you do have any questions, feel free to throw those into the GoToWebinar panel. There's a question section there that you can use. Send those questions through. We'd love to get some interaction there and answer any questions that you have. So we will go through a little bit about CASEpeer here, and we'll talk a little bit about Kenect, and then we'll talk specifically with regards to the integration between the two systems. So I'm going to toss some time over to Gabby to talk a little bit about CASEpeer, and we'll go from there.
Wonderful, thank you. So for those of you who aren't familiar with CASEpeer, we are the #1 rated legal software for personal injury law firms. And we're really designed from intake to settlement to drive better results for your clients and your business. High value cases report, insurance company performance analytics, lien reduction statistics, who's sending out the most demands, where your fees are coming from, which of your advertising campaigns are performing best. And the reason we're so excited too about our integration that we provide with Kenect is because Kenect really serves as an important piece of a law firm's tech ecosystem. Whether that's on leads, whether it's at the end of the case, we really know that law firms want these tools to connect to their hub, their practice management software like CASEpeer. And so again, this integration just brings that all together, and I'm really excited for all of you to learn more about Kenect today and to walk through the integration. So thanks for having us, Jake.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Gabby. It's been really good to work with Gabby and her team. The integration has been a great success so far. We have a lot of our customers with the integration live, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback about it. So really excited. So we want to walk through a little bit about Kenect, just a quick overview of who we are, what we do, and then, like I mentioned, we'll jump into the specifics of the integration here. So we are a text messaging platform built for law firms throughout North America. We've seen a lot of growth over the last few years. It's been really fun, really exciting. But at the core of that growth is great partnerships like the one we have with Gabby and her team at CASEpeer. So really thankful for that and really excited for the future moving forward. Our main focus at Kenect is helping in a few different ways with law firms. So, and these are some of the ways that we do that. The first is two-way text messaging from your main firm phone number. Okay, so we're taking your main number, making it text enabled, and that allows you to have conversations, text conversations with customers from your main number and hold and store those conversations within Kenect. The next one is generating leads. So we help with leads straight from your website. We'll put a text us button on your site that allows a client or potential client to text in from your website and initiate that conversation. And again, house that conversation within Kenect. The third is collecting payments through text messaging, making that process a little bit easier, a little bit more efficient, can go a long way for firms. And the last aspect there is online review generation and reputation management. So this is increasingly important in the legal industry, making sure that you have a good online presence and that you are being proactive and taking advantage of the advertising and the good word that can come through that online reputation. So we'll jump into a little bit of what those look like within Kenect here as we move forward. From a global perspective, Kenect was built on the fact that your customers, that the average consumer today prefers text messaging, okay? Harvard recently did some research, found some interesting statistics here. 89% of clients would prefer to interact with businesses via text messaging rather than a phone call. 98% of all text messages are opened, 95% are read within 3 minutes. And these aren't necessarily new stats, right? These aren't new things to a lot of people. You'll look at this and say, yeah, that seems about right. But there's still some people out there who are unaware of this, who need to be, made aware that this is how people want to be contacted. This is how they want to interact with a law firm or any business, really. A quick anecdote here. I was talking with a coworker, and he's showing me something on his phone. And he showed me his email application, and he had over 145,000 unread emails. Now that is obviously an extreme example, 145,000 unread emails, but I think we can probably all relate to that to some extent, right? Emails have become noise, something that we do not pay attention to as much anymore. On the other hand, he showed me his text messaging application, and he had one unread text message. So again, just more evidence, showing me that that's what people prefer today, right? People want to be texted, they want to communicate through text. Here are some ways that law firms are using Kenect today, just to give an overview. We'll take a look at these, and then we'll go into some of these more in depth in the next slides. The first is schedule consultations and send appointment reminders, streamlining the intake process and validating cases more efficiently, sending case updates and communicating faster with a 98% open rate of text messaging, collecting fees and sending invoices through text messaging, video chatting with clients, sending and receiving photos, videos, PDFs, and other attachments, generating online reviews, like I mentioned, and capturing more leads from Facebook, Instagram, and their website. So a lot of different use cases for Kenect. People get a lot out of the tool. And that's what we focus on, is helping you get the most out of the tool. That's why we are partnering with CASEpeer as well for this integration, just to make sure that everything is as streamlined and as efficient as possible. So we'll take a look at a couple of these aspects here. The first is the text us button that I mentioned that we'll put on your website. So this allows you to add this button to your website. A client or potential client can click on that, and they can send you a text message. Now, when they click on that, they'll see a box here that says choose a department. And depending on what you offer at your law firm, you can customize these options here. And what we do with these options is, on the back end, you can assign specific people to these departments or teams, and these leads can be routed to the appropriate people, making sure that everything is as efficient as possible, like I mentioned, and that the correct people are seeing the correct messages. You're getting back to potential clients as quickly as possible and being really efficient. Okay. When they text in, that'll come into your team inbox within Kenect, and that's what this looks like here. So really clean, really straightforward. similar to an email inbox. You have your previews there in the middle and the conversation history on the right. And like I mentioned, we can customize what a user is seeing within Kenect to make sure that they're only seeing relevant conversations to what they're doing. Just again, trying to eliminate noise, making sure that everything is efficient. We also have a mobile app that you can take on the go with you. And that's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we've gotten, is that people appreciate the option to not give out their personal cell phone number, right? I think in the olden days, kind of the old school mentality is, I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number, and that kind of showed a level of, commitment, a level of closeness. But I think that's kind of being changed a little bit, because that's not always the best customer experience, and it's obviously not the best experience for you if you're getting text messages at all hours of the day, on weekends and all that. So we get a lot of feedback that people appreciate that they don't have to give out their personal cell phone number anymore. One thing that you can do with this is, with Kenect, is you can set up automated messages. And those can be during business hours or after business hours, a message that says, thanks for texting us, we'll get back to you shortly. Or if it's after hours rather, you can say, hey, we're closed right now, but we'll get back to you as soon as we get back in the office. So some options there within Kenect to keep the customer experience top notch. Okay, another feature here is called broadcast messaging. This allows you to send one message to multiple contacts at once. Okay, so think mass texting essentially through Kenect. On the right, you see some stats about cost per message, cost per month, open rate, response rate, with the different marketing efforts that you can choose. But again, text messaging, you're really capitalizing on that 98% open rate and that 45% response rate there. So you can use this to send to a specific group of clients that you've worked with, and that could be a group of 5 clients or 1,000 clients, right? You can send out stuff for marketing, promotions, or you can just do follow-up, right? Like with clients that you've worked with in the past 6 months, just a quick follow-up, quick thank you, or whatever that may be.
And Jake, if I can jump in here, this is one of the features that our clients get most excited about, being able to mass text a group of people, whether it's with inviting them out to an event you're hosting, or wishing them, very happy new year, whatever that might be. It's a really tremendous feature that Kenect offers.
Yeah, awesome. Great to hear. Yeah. And I was going to ask what the main use cases that you've seen, but yeah, just general texts, like you said, happy holidays, or thanks for working with us. That's great to hear. And this is something that we've had for about a year now, and it's been a fantastic addition for a lot of law firms that use Kenect. So we're really excited about it. I also mentioned video chat as well, and this is something that kind of went under the radar when we added it a while back, but became more relevant during the pandemic, obviously. People preferred to do video consultations when available. But we've also seen that that's kind of been the case since the pandemic as well. Even though people can meet in person, sometimes they prefer to meet through a video consultation if that's an option. And so this just allows that option for your clients. Still more of a face-to-face experience, and you can initiate that straight from within Kenect. Text to pay as well has been a big addition for a lot of our customers, and this allows you to collect payment through text message. So what you'll do is you'll create a specific payment request, and a unique link will be generated that you can text to a client. They follow that link and they'll see this screen here on their phone, and they can get you paid that way. Okay, really quick, really straightforward. You can manage all of those payments within Kenect. You have a specific payments tab that you can use to manage all of those payments. So it's been a really big boost to a lot of our customers. And then the last thing here to talk specifically about Kenect is online reputation. And I mentioned that's a really big aspect these days of any business, really. But it's a big focus of ours at Kenect as well. consumers care about reviews. And I don't know if Amazon has taught us that or what it is, but people care about reviews. It's the new word of mouth. If someone tells me about a law firm or any other business, the first thing I'm going to do is go look them up online and see what their reviews look like, what their Google business profile looks like, to see if they're legit. And so a lot of people are doing that with law firms as well, and that's a big focus of ours at Kenect, is making sure that you're using the tools within Kenect to get the most reviews, the best reviews, to respond to reviews, and be really proactive when it comes to your online reputation. All right, let's jump into the integration specifically here between CASEpeer and Kenect. Take a look at this overview. We have a couple of screenshots as well that show what it looks like within the systems, and we'll jump in here. I actually have a couple questions that have come through here. Let's see. Well, let's just answer one of these questions here right now with regards to video chat. What does the client see? Does that open the web browser on their phone and connect that way? They need to download an app. Great question. The client doesn't need to download an app. They can do that straight from, it'll take them straight to their browser. So what you'll do is you'll generate a link, a video chat link that you'll send to the client. They'll click on the link. They can open it straight in their browser. They don't have to download any outside app for video chat. So great question there. All right, let's jump into a little bit of the integration here. First of all, the overall functionality here. The first aspect is a contact sync. So we're syncing contacts from CASEpeer to Kenect, and it syncs hourly. Okay, so you create a contact within CASEpeer that will be synced to Kenect. It'll go over to Kenect automatically, and that helps.
Jake, sorry, I was just going to clarify too. So for those of you that are existing CASEpeer law firms, this will be syncing with clients, right? So anytime you're adding a client or even updating information, should be syncing over to Kenect.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that clarification there. So again, this helps with efficiency, right? You're not having to double enter. You're not having to say, I have this client within CASEpeer. I'm going to go over and create the contact in Kenect and then send them a message. You'll be able to just jump over to Kenect, search for that contact, and send them the message straight from there. So that can create a lot of efficiencies there, save some time. The next aspect there is the full conversation posting to the matter and client as well within CASEpeer. So after that contact has been synced with Kenect, the conversation posting will take place in real time. So as you're having that conversation within Kenect, those messages will be posted into to the case notes there within the client. So like it says, the conversation will appear in CASEpeer as a note in case notes. So again, you can pull up a client within CASEpeer. You can see the conversation history that you've had with that client and not have to jump between platforms. Everything's right there in front of you. You can see what the conversation has been like with that client. And then the last aspect there, the lead push. So leads that come through the Kenect widget, like I showed on your website, or just a direct text if someone texts in for the first time. That'll create a new lead in CASEpeer. Okay, so they must have a first and last name saved on the lead and Kenect to sync, but that will go straight into CASEpeer as a new lead. Let's take a look at
and from there, you can go in and create it from a case if you haven't used our lien management section yet. Very straightforward. You just have to activate it in your account settings and then start getting those leads in. And those can come in from Kenect or other things through a CASEpeer integration or a host of other options as well, because we all know you aggregate those leads from anywhere you can. So
absolutely, absolutely. Good point. Yeah. Let's take a look at a couple screenshots here. So what we're doing, this is showing within Kenect how we're assigning a conversation to a specific case within CASEpeer. So there'll be a button that says assign to case. You'll be able to select that case and hit apply within Kenect. And that's how you will make sure that that conversation is connected to that case, and we can post that history as well within CASEpeer. And then this is what that looks like there within CASEpeer. So on the right-hand side there under case notes, we see those messages that have come through. It shows the timestamp, and it shows that message content there. Okay. The next aspect is the lead push into CASEpeer. Like Gabby was talking about, it comes in as a lead, and you can take it from there. Anything else you would add to that, Gabby?
No, I mean, I just exactly coming in. Typically, you're probably going to have some kind of a message popping into that general description potentially. And again, it'll pass that right into a new client window when you click new client. Or you can link it to an existing case. So for example, if you have a client that just goes to your website after hours, texts in, you can link that into the case that way.
Awesome. Cool. That's great. All right, and those are the screenshots that we have right there. I think from our perspective, the integration is fantastic because, like I've been talking about this whole time, it really helps increase efficiency. Reduces the need to jump back and forth between the systems, and really helps with your time. Whether you're a lawyer who's in here doing this, you have a paralegal or an admin working on this, it really helps save time. So curious to hear from you, Gabby, about some of the feedback that you've gotten about the integration specifically.
Yeah, I mean, one question that we hear a lot is essentially how long does it take to get started? So if someone's a current CASEpeer law firm, what is that onboarding process like? And then I definitely have some thoughts I wanted to share as well from feedback we've had from customers.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think as far as the onboarding process goes with Kenect, it's about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And during that time, what's going to happen is our onboarding team is going to help you get set up with your account from a technical perspective, get everything configured from a technical perspective, and make sure that the integration is set up and squared away, that your account is customized, and then the rest of that time is going to be spent getting your team trained on Kenect. Anybody who's going to be using Kenect, getting them trained up. So it's about a week and a half to get set up with Kenect. Really quick, really straightforward.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's super easy and the integration's easy to set up and it's pretty seamless working with you guys and we love that. So one of the things too, in terms of the title of this webinar, Jake, is talking about revenue, and really the beauty of Kenect is that it's just another way to stay close to your clients, right? CASEpeer has a lot of fantastic features around that too, making sure that you're tracking last time you communicated with a client, things like that. But really when it comes down to communicating however you want to communicate, as long as you're keeping in touch, you're keeping them warm, communicating with former clients are going to be your best source of referrals. So as long as those clients are happy, you can ask them for reviews. Eventually they'll refer a friend if a friend gets into an accident. And we all know that that's the best kind of advertising you can have out there, is just an army of happy former clients. And that's really something that I see Kenect helping drive, along with CASEpeer, especially when you're using it together with a practice management software like ours.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's great. Good to hear. A couple other questions that have come in here. Let's take a look at these. First one is, I see you have an open API. Do you plan on connecting to no-code platforms like Zapier in the future? Answer is yes on that one. The ability to connect with Zapier is actually in the works right now. Our integrations team is working on that one. So don't have a specific timeline there yet, but stay tuned on that. That's definitely in the works.
That's an exciting one, Jake. Awesome.
Yeah,
I know a lot
yeah.
of people are happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Zapier is very powerful, and yeah, we're really excited to get into that. Okay, let's see here. Got a few. If the contact is created in Kenect first, will the information in Kenect integrate to CASEpeer, or will it need to be re-entered? So that contact sync is one way from CASEpeer to Kenect. So if you're starting a new case, or you have a new contact, you'll have to enter that again into CASEpeer. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Gabby.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, obviously, if that person again's coming in through some of those lead channels, then you do want to have that piece connected, and you're creating the case in CASEpeer, and then it can sync back over into Kenect. But yeah, otherwise, kind of the assumption based on our beta firms and customer feedback when we were developing the integration was that the cases really are originating within CASEpeer, and you're syncing it over to Kenect, so you're not doing the entry over there.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the clarification there. Okay, another question here. What about closed files from CASEpeer? Will I be able to bring all those over to Kenect so I can mass text them? You might have a little bit more insight here, Gabby, but from the mass texting perspective, from the broadcast messaging feature that we have, what you can do is you can import a group of contacts within Kenect. And I didn't talk about that specifically, but with the broadcast messaging feature, you're creating specific groups. And you can do that easily by importing a list of contacts as well into Kenect.
Yeah, that's a great question. I believe right now the integration focuses on open cases. Otherwise, like when you're doing that contact sync or client sync over into Kenect for firms that have been with CASEpeer or maybe migrated 20 years of data into CASEpeer, it's a lot of noise, right? But Jake, great point. You could export that client report and handle it that way. And that's kind of neat too, because you can divide it up. I mean, if you're a firm that operates in multiple states, or maybe you're trying to divide clients up into groups and other ways for that broadcast messaging, exporting that first gives you a chance to parse that data anyway before you're uploading it into Kenect.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, I've got a bunch of questions. This is great. Trying to keep it within 30 minutes, but we'll hurry up here. So this is a good question. Is this not yet another platform of communication that duplicates what's already available in text messages from CASEpeer? Kind of a hard hitter there. I'll let you tackle
Yeah,
that
I
one,
can
Gabby.
take that. It's absolutely true. So CASEpeer has texting. There's a lot of wonderful features in that, but we have a lot of joint customers between CASEpeer and Kenect, and I think that that's kind of it's really coming from the areas that Kenect is handling that we don't, right? They've got the broadcast messaging, which is being able to text multiple groups. And it also has that lead text messaging in. So some firms just use Kenect for some of those features. Obviously, also have the video chat, which is really cool. And so Kenect is continuing their really focused development, all about enhancing that client communication. That is very important to us here at CASEpeer too, which is why we have this integration with Kenect. But obviously, we're also developing other integrations and building and enhancing practice management tools. So again, I think it really is a matter of, does Kenect fit into your overall vision and tech stack, because it does unlock additional functionality. If you're just starting out, maybe our built-in text messaging works for you today, and Kenect might be something that you look at down the line, right? So Jake, I don't know if you'd have anything to add to that, but that's my perspective.
Yeah, no, perfectly said. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Nothing to add to that. Bunch of questions here again. CASEpeer has a texting number that I'm currently using to text my clients. Can I make that number the number Kenect uses? I believe so. Gabby, you might have more insight there, but I believe that is possible.
Yeah, so my understanding of the way texting numbers work is if you have an existing number with texting in CASEpeer and you'd want to replace using CASEpeer completely with Kenect, then in that case you could port that number out. Otherwise, we typically encourage you to have, especially if you're using like an inbound marketing number, Kenect can hook you up with a really great number that fits your firm and the area you're at. And so again, I would say that's a really good conversation to have when you're reaching out to Kenect. And again, I'm sure there's some good best practices. And if there is any porting required, our team's happy to help. But if you're currently texting within CASEpeer and you want to continue to have that flexibility and functionality, then you probably would want to select a separate number as well. And it also helps for marketing tracking, right? So if you've got a number out there that you're using more on the marketing lead generation text side, it's good to have a separate number from that CASEpeer text communication.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, very true. Okay, let's see. Is there a contract that we have to sign? How long is that time period? If so, with Kenect, yes, there's usually our agreements are annual agreements, so a year-long agreements. And then, yeah, same thing with the integration as well. That'll be on there for that amount of time. Do you have CASEpeer users using your integration right now, or is this brand new? We do have users on the integration right now. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's been up and running for a while now, so we have.
Yeah, we've had the integration, I think in the really like either late fall or sometime in the fall of last year. So it's been live for a few months, and I will say it was one of our most highly anticipated integrations that we released last year. So kudos, Jake, to what you guys are building at Kenect. You have a huge fan base. So
Awesome.
definitely we've been getting feedback on it. It's like, it's been very positive. And of course, if any of you joining us today do start to use Kenect and have feedback or have other feature requests that you'd love to see, communicate that either to your rep at Kenect or over to our support team. We're always logging those, tracking that feedback, and always interested in improving the experience for our clients.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Gabby. So we have some questions here. I'll just answer a couple, but if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us at Kenect or reach out to Gabby and her team there at CASEpeer. Let's see, can the client text photos or just text? The client can text photos as well and send those attachments into you. That's a really big aspect, a big benefit of the tool. Are you able to automate a message to clients when a case status changes? Not currently. I think that's something that we could probably look into in the future. It's a possibility, I think, but not currently.
Yeah, I think that's something that we had in our pipeline. I'm not exactly sure what that status is, but that is something that we had our teams working on. And I know that is something that's been requested before. So it's something that's in the works.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Let's see. With the firm using one number, how can we ensure that personal messages don't come in as new leads in Kenect? No, I want to make sure I understand the question specifically. I'm not sure. So anybody,
I'm not sure that might be a good one for them to reach out. If you ask that question, I'd recommend calling or following up with Jake and or of course our team and see if we can make sure we get that question answered for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last question I'll answer here. When a case is closed in CASEpeer, what happens in Kenect? Is that case moved to a different group so the broadcast message doesn't get sent to them? That's a good question. We don't have quite that level of connectivity yet, so it won't automatically move a contact from a group. That's a good idea, maybe something to look into. But currently, it won't affect what the group is within broadcast messaging. So you have to update that manually.
I love that question. I love that we're already getting good feedback on how to continue to improve this integration from attorneys and staff that aren't even using it yet. I think right now the workaround, my recommendation would be to essentially once a month when you close out cases, you can pull up the closed cases report or that client report, export those out, and you can upload them into Kenect. So just making that part of your workflow, even though they're in Kenect. And again, I'm not as familiar, Jake, with that platform, but maybe that's a good way to do it, even though they're adding them that way to the broadcast groups. But again, that would be a great question to work through with Kenect and CASEpeer client success teams, and we'll give you some great advice on how to handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're right. That's probably the best way to do it you can update those groups really easily with a new upload. So that's probably the best way to do it right now. Awesome. Well, some great questions came through. Thanks so much, everybody, for your interaction. Gabby, great to be on again. Thanks so much for the partnership and for joining today.
Absolutely, Jake. We're super excited about continuing to work together and grow together with Kenect. And thanks for having us. It's always it's fun to be here. So thank you.
Awesome. If you have additional questions, again, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear your ideas as well, as far as what would be helpful for you as a firm with this integration. So feel free to reach out to either your Kenect rep or your CASEpeer rep with those ideas and those thoughts. We definitely take those and evaluate them. So again, thanks so much for joining, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.